excited to welcome on one of the top rising prospects in 2022. And Jaden, what's going on today, bro?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Pretty good. Well, I mean, it's been a busy past couple of weeks as coaches start calling you. What's it been like?
It's been a little busy and chaotic, but it's definitely an honor.
And when you look at some of the big offers, I think probably the biggest one you've got recently, obviously the Michigan State one. To hear Tom Izzo come in with the offer, what was that like?
It was pretty cool. I mean, I started a relationship back with them in October when I went out and visited, and it was just it's cool to meet everyone and to finally be offered.
I mean, in the past week, you've landed schools like Nebraska, Iowa, Northwestern, Marquette, Michigan State. How's your bond growing with all those programs right now?
I mean, just most of them just kind of meeting and just starting a relationship on the phone. Obviously, can't get out and talk to them in person, but it's uh it's definitely been nice just getting to know who they are and just starting a relationship with them.
Let's talk about that first night when coaches start calling you. What was that night like? When did the first call come in for you?
I had a few calls coming at midnight, but I just waited until the morning to answer them and hit them back. But it was definitely a surprise. Obviously, I was made aware of what would happen, but it was definitely interesting.
And you had some offers already coming into that process. Some of them like Illinois, Crane, Xavier. What were those schools like, and how's your bond growing with those schools now?
It was cool. I mean, I got to meet a lot of those schools earlier and start a relationship before the June 15th period. But I mean, obviously, it's nice that I can call them and they can call me. But it's just kind of building off the relationship that we had prior to it. So it's been nice.
And I can imagine there's a lot of schools that have shown interest in you. You have yet to offer, though. Who do you say some of the schools show the most interest that have yet to offer you, though, at this point?
I would definitely say Butler. Talked to them a lot, and Ohio State, Wisconsin, and a lot of schools. I mean, I've just talked to a lot on the phone, and they've showed me virtual tours. But in Purdue, I've talked to a lot. But, they just want to be able to see me in person, watch me play in person. So a lot of that.
And so would you probably expect an offer from those schools to come in sometime soon?
Yeah, I would expect an offer at some point.
Mhm. And you're going to have all these opportunities, all these offers to look at. You still have a couple of years until you really get into this recruiting process. But what's it going to take for a school to be just in your top 8, top 10, or whatever list you really want to narrow it down to?
Yeah, I would just say, definitely, a great bond with them. How do I, communicate with them? Is it easy to talk to? How much interest are they showing? What do they have to offer? So, it'd be nice just to see what they have. And obviously, we got a lot on the list, but I just got to see who, I have a better bond with.
And what would you personally say would be the biggest thing you want to see in a college?
I would definitely say the connection with the coaching staff
Mhm.
and obviously the play style and, how it would be able to fit in.
And you have a few different types of coaches. I mean, obviously, we talked about a little about Michigan State. The guy in Tom is a Hall of Fame coach, one of the greatest to ever do it. You have some obviously younger coaches, guys like over there at Xavier. You have just player coaches. When you look at all these different types of coaches, what would you say are some of the things that you really like in a coach?
Yeah, I would definitely say, obviously their X's and O's and how do they, use their players and definitely how do they get their players better and player development. So, I mean, I'm just kind of learning the different coaches and obviously what play style do they like and, what players come out of their program.
And when you talk about play style, what would you say is your preferable play style?
Definitely, play fast, space the floor, got a lot of shooters and stuff. So, I mean, I would definitely fit into that type of play style.
And we know for you, hopefully, by the time you really get into this heavy recruiting process, the coronavirus is going to be up, so you can go take visits and all that. But one thing that a lot of guys in the 2020 class, 2021 class even, are considering is staying somewhat close to home because of everything going on. Is there any kind of priority to you stay close to home?
I mean, I wouldn't really say it's a priority. Obviously, I'm going to pick the school that's the best fit for me. But if it's close, if I can get the same opportunities close to home, then then I would take it.
That's awesome. And let's just go through your recruiting process as well. You got your very first offer. Take us through what the day was like when you heard that you're going to get an offer.
Yeah. So the very first offer was back in August. I went to a USC elite camp, and I was just going out there to play. And it was definitely cool. It's definitely a surprise, and but now I've gotten more used to it and stuff. But it was definitely a surprise and feel like all the hard work is paying off.
That's huge. And all this kind of came obviously from you having a big time breakout high school season. Take us through what this past year was like.
Yeah, we had a good year. We had a 24-win season, won regional championship, won a Thanksgiving tournament. So, it was just a cool experience to go out and play some bigger schools and just, have a good year.
You did have the opportunity to play with your brother in your freshman season. What was that like?
I mean, it was definitely a cool experience. Obviously, growing up and watching him play, and just to be able to play with him was an awesome experience that I'll remember for forever. And it was just a good experience to go out and compete with him.
And personally, what would you say allowed you to have a breakout year? I mean, you came out and averaged 22 points plus, a little over 9 rebounds. I mean, 3 assists, both a lot of steals and blocks as well. What allowed you to have that kind of breakout year?
I would just say how much the Illinois Wolves helped me to get better and put me with the right trainers and just, the player development put me in places where I could succeed, and it just helped me a lot once it got to the high school season.
And you're having a big time guy last year that was one of your top leading scorers on the team last season, obviously graduated now. It's going to open up a lot of points, a lot of assist opportunities. How do you kind of plan to fill that role? And as long as who's going to kind of step up and fill those roles as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to try to be an overall player, fill whatever gap needs to be filled to win. So be, just working on my game overall in every aspect of the game, just to make sure our team is where it needs to be.
And I can imagine that for you, some schools, prep school wise, national scheduled teams have probably started reaching out to you. Is that something you're going to consider at some point?
I mean, I've always had talks with my parents and stuff, and obviously I'll be put in the best situation for me, my family, but it's definitely been a talk, but no serious considerations.
Okay. And there's one game I really want to focus in on from last season. It's your 50-point game, state record 17 threes. I mean, that's obviously a special game, an iconic game. What's going through your mind that day before you kind of lead up to that one game?
Yeah, we had a workout in front of Siena during the middle of the school day. They came out to watch, so we just kind of got a lot of shots up. So it was, and then it was supposed to be an easier game coming up in the evening. So had a good pre-workout. Then we got up to the game. It was just kind of staying focused and just not really worrying about any records or how many. Just going out and having fun and just staying focused.
Were you keeping track of how many threes you made, or did you know you're getting anywhere close to any kind of record?
I mean, not really. I had no idea the record was that. I was just, catch and shoot. That's what I do. So.
Mm-hmm. And at some point, I mean, did it come after the game that you finally learned that you broke the record, or when did you finally learn that you broke that record?
Obviously, I got to 16, and my coach, said one more. So I was like, all right. And then I got subbed out. But I was really up until the last second. I didn't really know that was a state record. Really wasn't focused on it. So
yeah. And so you only have 2 years down now. You have 2 more still to go. What's the stuff you want to work on, improve on, and kind of get better at in the next 2 years?
Definitely being a better ball handler, being able to, get, shots off the dribble, and obviously defense. You need to just work on defense and be able to get to the Division I level for, being a defender.
And we talk about what numbers you could possibly put up. What would you say you're capable of scoring next season?
I mean, it's hard to tell what a number is, but hopefully a lot, and what I'll do what I need to do to win. So,
without doubt. And you are in Illinois. I mean, that's obviously known as one of the states that is a prime basketball state. What's it like competing out there?
It's a great atmosphere. You got a lot of players from Chicago that are highly ranked players, so it's a good experience to be able to play against them and play with them in open gyms, against games, be able to practice with a lot of them. So I would just say, it's a great experience.
Who would you say has been the hardest guy or the best player you've had to go up against in the past 2 years?
Definitely Max Christie. I've had to guard him a lot in practice and trainings, but he's pretty tough.
And for you now, you're obviously in Illinois, as I said. Where do you think Illinois ranks up in terms of all the states in the country?
I would say number one. I feel like Illinois basketball is the best, but that's obviously a biased opinion. But
And going back to the recruiting process, obviously, as I said, the coronavirus is kind of shutting down business right now. when it starts opening up, do you want to start taking visits now, or when do you want to start that process?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to take a visit to all the schools that are, offering as soon as possible. So I'd probably head out once, it is deemed safe to.
What's some of the schools you kind of have set up or you want to go take visits to?
Uh, Definitely, I'll probably take another one to Michigan State, head down to Illinois, probably get out to Nebraska, Iowa, Northwestern, all the schools by, and Ohio State, and a few others like Butler.
Absolutely, man. My last thing before I let you go is when you talk about building a legacy up both on and off the court, what do you want to be remembered for by the time you walk away from the game someday?
Just a player that always went out and competes to the best of their ability, and just someone who's going to always give it their all, and just love the game and respect it for what it is. So
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on, my guy. I look forward to seeing what God's got next for you, bro.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Anytime, man. You always welcome on, man. God bless.
Yeah, you too.